Om Shanti, everyone. Welcome to the next normal. I'm your host, Sister Jenna. Finally getting my voice back. It's not 100%, but it's coming, which is a good thing. And you know the irony, when you get laryngitis, right? You're supposed to stay quiet, no? So your vocal cords in that area can heal faster. For the life of me, would I tell you? This past week might have been the week I've spoken the most in ages. It's like I just had to. I didn't have a choice. It just took me over, and I had to follow. I had to respond. So I wanted to talk about the importance of positive thinking, and I thought that what I would do is take you through like a process just for you to be a little bit aware. Of course, this will be one of the shows that you might need to watch over and over again to capture everything. But if you'd like to also take a pen and paper, that can help to maybe jot down a few of these thoughts and ideas. But I want you to think about for a moment, why is it a challenge to be positive? Especially when things are not going your way. Okay, so they're not kind to you, but you have to stay positive and be kind. But you pick up the vibrations of the other person, right? And if you didn't have that vibration, would you emanate it back? Of course you wouldn't. But a lot of times we get so caught up on the blame or looking at the other person, and they're like, there's what's so disrespectful to me. But we've never actually turned it back to the self and say, have I been disrespectful to me? Have I been disrespectful to others? So we don't discern our positive thought process as well as we can, because we're around so much negativity that that's become just normal. That even if somebody comes into our life and they're a little bit too optimistic, we go, they're not real. Because we don't believe someone could be optimistic, or we don't even know how to support a positive or an optimistic person. Maybe the person is trying to find their way out of their negativity. But when we're around them, we don't seem to kind of connect with them. So what I'd like to do is to take us through a process with a PowerPoint, and maybe just invite you to travel with me down the road of how do we understand where these thoughts are coming from. Thought is energy. Thought is energy. If the thought is positive, where I don't have an ulterior negative intention, it's going to work towards my benefit. If the thought is negative, selfish, wasteful, governed by the human conditioning of our world, it's going to take a lot from me. Let's take a look at these thoughts and ideas online here. So can you go up to the first slide? Yeah. So when we look at the journey of the power of positive thinking, it's really a more of a spiritual inner journey of the self. So let us think for a moment that there are two ways that we think throughout the day. When we think of ourselves in a very subtle, pure, positive, peaceful state, you're serving the self at a higher level, which means when you really need support and help, you have the internal energy to give that to yourself. So the subtle thoughts, you try to analyze things to find truth from illusion. Sometimes when your thoughts are clear, you create. And feelings, you don't know why some mornings you wake up, you don't feel so happy. Nobody troubled you. But you can feel, these are subtle emotions. You can imagine, and you can remember things. It's amazing what your soul can do. Now, when you kind of move away from the awareness of your immortal, subtle self, And because you're so conditioned by the outside world, you become more human, what we call gross, what we call in Raj Yoga, body conscious. You are attached to your gender, male, female. You're attached to the way you look, color of your skin, your features, nationality, ethnicity, religion, language. You're attached to the foods you eat. You're attached to behaviors. You're attached to political parties. You're attached to your country. You're attached to your favorite basketball team and football team. And when you think of these things, if you ever observe that gross aspect of your life, it takes you on this sort of a roller coaster ride, which is okay. Life is about ups and downs. It's not always going to be up. But there are moments in your journey where you get stuck in a mindset. Why is he like this? When is he going to change? It shouldn't be like this. How did this happen to me? This shouldn't have happened to me. This is an awful situation. In the federal government, quite a number of people are getting laid off. And because there isn't another job prospect, there's a lot of fear and insecurity. Now, look at the quality of your thinking. You find another job. Before you get laid off, you somehow tell all the employees, see you, it was great, thank you so much, I wish you all the best too. But because there isn't something waiting for you, now there's a different level of thinking. How could they have done that? Why did they do that? But I've got to take care of my mortgage, health insurance, daycare. How are we going to manage? I don't have another job. And so when you focus a lot on the external aspects of the self, it can take you into a lot of wasted negative thoughts because we never have control over our external world. But at the subtle level, I have control over the way I want to feel, what I want to think, how I analyze a situation. I see what they're up to. They're up to no good for my life. And so what do I do now? I begin to put everything in order so that if they pull the rug from under me, such as a lot of the federal workers are losing their jobs and it hasn't even started in a major way, as I was told, that the rug's being pulled from under their feet. And so they know that. So now people will be preparing, because subtly we know nothing is guaranteed, but I don't want my life to have challenge. That's positive thinking. That's being aware of what my responsibility is for myself. That's the being, the software. The gross and the body consciousness is that human conditioning. It's the hardware. So you use it. A car in a car dealership is nice, but it doesn't have the value as when the driver steps in. What's the use of a car if nobody's driving it? Whole bunch of cars are sitting on parking lots. From what I'm hearing, many more will sit too. Let's move on. So the being is subtle. It is light. Your spark, your soul that is in you, your highest dreams, your highest feelings, that's you at your best. You don't have to have the details to figure out what your final agenda in terms of how you're going to make things work for you. But the fact that you're inspired and you feel like there's more in you, that's a good thing. It means you've got capacity. But now, can you stay positive enough to sustain it? So the subtle is the light that you are. The energy comes from thought. Thought gives strength, or it can take strength from you. When you're positive, you're strong. When you're in negative thinking, you've gotten weak. Life is a gift. It's a privilege. Live it to your best. It exists. And your force, well, that shows how much you bring into whatever you do. Self, subtle, energy, life, force. Got it? That is self. Subtle, energy, life force. That's who you are. That's who you are. Okay, let's move on. So there are three key functions of how you can maneuver the way you want to think and feel, how you want to take charge of yourself. There's a mind in every one of us. It generates thoughts, emotions, desires. It learns new things, or it retrieves data from what we call in Raja Yoga sanskaras, or your personality. It retrieves data from previous experience or association. It gets stored. But now your intellect has the ability to discern, to decide, should I continue to do this or not? So the mechanism of analyzing and decision making the desired thought and course of action. So let me give you an example. I think I should eat that chocolate cake. The mind comes up, oh my gosh, that chocolate cake was too good. Now the intellect knows I can't gain another pound, right? And so the intellect will tell the mind, it's okay, yeah, the cake was good yesterday, wasn't it? It's not going to be that good today. You won't enjoy it as much as you did yesterday. Give it a break today. So now your intellect, you inside, you're talking to yourself with wisdom and understanding. So you're transforming habits that generally tend to take you over naturally. Get that simple example? Memory bank, personality. This is the big one, because this is where a lot of things that are happening to or for us, we don't know where they came from. It's the stored vibration of everything that I've felt, the repository of all thoughts, decision, and experiences. We call it sanskaras. Sometimes you do things you don't know why you did it. It's sanskaras. Sometimes you bump into a situation that turns out to be fantastic. It came from your good sanskaras. Sometimes you meet somebody and you get a vibe from them. Stay away. Sanskar. In Indian culture, whenever a boy and a girl meet with the families sitting in the room, the families are observing that their children or the other person that they're planning to arrange in marriage, and they're trying to pick up what is the sanskar. Can my child live with the sanskar of this girl, of this boy? It's an aura that you carry. It's a behavior. It's the way you sit, eat, walk, speak. Let's move on. Interesting, right? So when you think about this, right, the mind generates thoughts, emotions, desires that are drawn from past experience. It gets more activated through your five senses: sight, hearing, speech, smell, touch. If the experiences that you're carrying are of success, let's say you failed, but you remembered how you got up, that's a sweeter feeling. Let's say that somebody betrayed you and you served that feeling very deep. If you bump into somebody that carries an energy of betrayal, you'll remember that person. And even though you might end up in a situation with the person, you were given a red flag. But still the best of you, because there is a desire. You want something. You're hoping for the best. You go for it and you end up with what you once had. So it's a very unique connection between your five senses and you, the soul. When it's connected, the story comes out. A glove is a glove on its own. But when your hand goes into the glove, it plays out in a different way, right? So controlling and directing the mind whilst using your senses leads to less wastage of your thoughts and time, as well as that of others. So sometimes throughout the day today, check who's in charge. Who's in charge? And check the number of thoughts that you can recognize throughout the day. Next. So now, think about it. The mind is generating thoughts. Thoughts are like seeds. The more I think responsibly, the greater the impact and the results, the fruits will come, right? So everything that's happening in and around you, no matter how much you blame people, at the end of the day, it came from the seed of your thoughts. Okay? Some situations might be a challenge. Change the seed of thought and the situation will change. So just as we eat healthy and nourishing foods and perform exercise for a healthy body, so I generate, as much as my voice is coming back, it's not 100%. So I generate pure and positive thoughts, and you would churn, exercise, keep applying them in every situation that you get, all right? Practice, practice, practice. It's everything. Your thoughts are your creation. Your thoughts are your creation. Your thoughts are your creation. They become your property. They kind of hang out with you. So contemplate on the consequence of your thought before you develop it into an idea. Move on. Now, for me, the most important thing is the power of decisions. That's your intellect. Whatever you feed your intellect, you will start to think from that space. That creates your experience. Those experiences come into your mind. Without you knowing it, you can watch the news a month ago and it will come up again, and you might have a conversation with someone and you're going back and forth with the same stuff. When your intellect knows, you don't want to talk about it. Just stop. So the mind creates options, many thoughts, and analyzing the impact on a person or thing that came to your mind is the work of your intellect. Your strength lies in your ability to make appropriate decisions. The best decisions are based on how clean your conscience feels. In other words, the purity of your intent. Are you able to answer your whys whenever you're in a situation where you need a decision? If you can answer your why very honestly and easily and purely, you will be liberated. There will not be a sense of a bondage or heaviness. Many times we don't know how to answer our whys, so there are consequences behind that. So your sense of values, the extent to which your values are emerged in your intellect, the return of such decisions are always beneficial if it's done with pure intent, but not necessarily at the moment. But sometimes later on you begin to see, I was patient and I reaped the fruits later on. So experiment also, take a few minutes in silent reflection and emerge your strongest values. But also be honest, what are my weaknesses? Next. Sanskars, memory. That's the part I told you that energetically it's attracting things around you. And you don't know where these situations or people or things are coming from, but they show up. It's coming from the stored energy that you're carrying. It's like stuff you stuffed in a closet and you forgot, but yet it's taking energy from the house, which is why it's important to keep everything in order and in place. Thoughts create desires. Thoughts create emotions. Thoughts create feelings. All of that is stored in your memory track, your personality, your sanskar. So there are thoughts, desires, experience, reflections. Repetition of the above can be considered as layers. Sometimes you might have had the same experience over and over again and you can't get out. So that's why you haven't changed it at the core. Move on. So just remember, your innate values are your property. So today, just keep in mind some of these thoughts. Peace, honesty, happiness, patience, truth, fairness, love, empathy, cheerfulness, tolerance, so much more. When you have moments of silence, thank you, Santosh. When you have moments of silence, take time to focus on these thoughts. If you have even 2 minutes, just sink into that. Feel peace. Feel that your power is within you. Feel that your joy is within you. So I just want to put up the image of the face and the soul that you are. So every one of us, 8 billion, we're souls. Living force, living energies. Our thoughts are governing our destiny, even though it's all preordained. But I have the ability to decide to choose what I want to think and what I want to feel. Now you know you have the power to think as positively as you want. It's in your hands, not someone else's. So let's take a moment of meditation. Let's breathe deeply. Today's session was very informative on just the energy of thought. What are you thinking throughout the day? Why are you thinking? Are you attached to your name, gender, role, title, religion, political party, country, language, features, the color of your skin, the way of your hair, your dress, your food? Have you defined yourself based on your external hardware? Or are you focused on the software, the being of you? Just look at this inside. Love is so powerful. It's bigger than an argument with a loved one. Love is more powerful than colleagues at work who aren't aligned with their values. Love is more powerful than a political party. Love is more powerful than rush hour on the highway. And so positive thinking is to move you more to the being, your software, the inner power that you hold, versus external situations that I can't change. But maybe the love that I am might add an energy to the environment outside of me. Maybe the love that I'm experiencing or carrying as a soul in my positive mindset will support and protect the environment around me. So today, include positivity in your walking and moving. Keep thinking the best about yourselves. Keep thinking the best about others. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Breathe in again. Breathe out. It's good for us now to go to the Sister Gita effect and take some positivity from a sweet angel. Enjoy.
Value wisdom. To be prepared for the test of life is to be wise. Let's contemplate on that. We usually prepare for the test of life only after being faced with the test itself. Then, although we try hard, we are unable to make full preparations, and we therefore find it difficult to experience progress. To anticipate and be well prepared beforehand is to use your inner resources well. Let's apply it. In order to move forward constantly, I need to be prepared well in advance. I can only do this when I keep learning from all my past experiences. With this inner preparation, I can face all life's tests. I have all the weapons I need to deal with the present situation. How wonderful. This is wisdom. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Lovely, right? Beautiful spirit. So shout out to Anne, Indu, Ice Blink. That's a new one. Hi, Ice Blink. Yukti, Annette Henry, nice to have you on as well. Raj, Darlene, Jackie Woodside, nice to see you. Shobha, Om Shanti, Kushali, and Tracy N. Sister Jenna, I love that I'm starting my mornings with the next normal. It brings so much peace and order in my day. You're welcome, Tracy. Meenakshi and Mimi, Kailash, Lilawati. Nice to have all of you on today. So keep those ideas in mind about how to really maintain positivity as you're walking and moving along. It will just support you. It'll keep supporting you. Okay? All right. Have a beautiful day today, everyone. Take good care.